Welcome, welcome to the Rockstar-a-thon. Hello, hello. If we have not met, my name is Holly, the founder of Rockstar Organizers, and I'm bringing you a lot of amazing folks tonight who are going to inspire you, especially if you are a professional organizer. So the very first step we have is Melanie. And I seriously love Melanie. There was a tackle hug situation that happened when we met in person finally after a while. So we're going to jump right into it. And we've got several stories tonight over the next hour and a half, more stories tomorrow night over the next hour and a half. And I just want to let you into my world a little bit with people that I love. And for those of you who might be interested in Rockstar Organizers, what it's all about, this will give you an inside look and give you a chance to apply to work with me if that's something that's interesting to you. So I'm going to bring Melanie up. Come on up, sister. Hello, my friend.
Hello, how are you?
Amazing. So happy that you're here.
Likewise, yes.
Melanie is the founder of I Speak Organized in Vancouver, Washington, Portland metro area. And she's also a coach for aspiring and new organizers. So we have something in common that we both love to work with organizers. And we met several years ago. It seems like 2020 or 2019. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I just wanted to let people get to know a little bit of your story and, you know, where you're at, where you've been, how we connected, and what things are like now. Does that sound good?
Absolutely. Happy to share. First of all, when Holly talks about the tackle hug that happened, we got to finally meet in person after several years of knowing each other. And we were in Austin, and it was a very hot, sticky September day. And it was met with lots of just like silent laughter afterwards. Like it was amazing. I loved it. I loved every moment of it. It was exactly as I had pictured it in my mind over and over again, finally getting to see you. And Holly's really short in person, like teeny tiny. And so she fits right under my chin. Like, oh, little baby Holly. So yeah, anyway, Holly and I met online, as most entrepreneurs do. I think it was 2020 officially. It was like just the start of the pandemic, and I was looking for a little bit of confidence in the realm of public speaking. Because I had just started my business a few years prior, and then I had just filed my LLC in 2019. So I was like, I'm going to take it seriously. And so I needed to be comfortable putting myself out there in front of people. And it's funny to me now, being a professional public speaker, that I struggled with such confidence in this area. So for those of you that feel that way, just know that you can overcome your biggest struggles. And sometimes all you need is just somebody in your corner. And so for me at that moment, that was Holly for me. And I took one of her challenges, which was to go live on Facebook. And so we went through the whole thing.
I remember that. That was the summer, yeah. The PO
Yeah.
Go Live challenge, which terrifies a lot of organizers to put themselves out there on social media. They'd rather be behind the scenes, making the magic. So to think about putting your face out there, oh my gosh, those are fighting words.
Yeah. But it's kind of essential in many ways. You know, you are the face of your business, and people work with people. They don't work with companies or brands, really. Like, you want to know, especially in this industry, it's important to understand that, because we're coming into people's homes. If you're a professional organizer, you're coming in and seeing people's spaces that some of their closest friends and family members don't even see. So it's very vulnerable. And being able to be the face of your brand, in my opinion, is pretty important, so that the people can establish trust right from the beginning. So,
sure.
You know, you gotta kind of step outside your comfort zone if you're going to be a business owner in general. So
yeah, for sure. Well, I definitely remember you from back then. Gosh, that was 5 years ago. That's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
And how you did the work, you put yourself out there, you got your stuff going, you tried a bunch of stuff, and then we reconnected maybe a few years ago. And you were thinking about team and hiring. So do you remember where you were at when we met then, when we reconnected? Tell me what was going on then.
So I talk about this on my channel a lot.
I was a channel called I Speak Organized.
That's right. Yeah. Lots of really good content for brand newbies. So people who are like aspiring or brand new in business. So if you're kind of like LLC or sole proprietorship, what do I do? That's for you. Anyway, so I talk about this a lot. At that point in time, when I came to into the Rockstar Organizer program, I was what I consider to be marshmallow Melanie. And the reason why I call myself that was because it was beyond burning the candle at both ends, you guys. And I know that people
Mm.
relate to this. It was roasting myself 360 degrees, trying to do everything myself. And I remember some of my earliest videos, the ones that are relatively popular on the channel about how I started my business. At that time, I remember in my mind, like my mindset at that time was like, you can do it all. You can do everything. You don't need this and that, whatever, which is true to a degree. Like when you're first starting, it's a business that you can start on a shoestring budget. You can, there's very low overhead. That's why it's so popular, right? That's why this industry has become such a big deal for a lot of aspiring female business owners in particular. So that was my mindset. But you come to realize very quickly that if you want to grow a sustainable business that doesn't roast you from the outside in until you're a shriveled piece of charcoal that just disintegrates into nothing.
It doesn't sound very fun.
Right? No, you need a tribe, you need a coach, you need resources, you need education, you need systems, you need automations, like all these different things. You need a support system and a village. And so once I started getting to the point where I was booked out so far that like I was losing clients, I was like, okay, I've resisted the urge to start a team and I need to just get over that. Like what is it about starting a team that I need help with? And the one thing that I really appreciate about Holly, if I can just talk about you in front of you for a second, is that you
Please
really
talk
work on the
about me.
mindset stuff. Yeah, it totally. You work on the mindset stuff. I'm very much like a practical coach, you know, like I don't really deal with the emotions as well. Like I can help you with it, but the one thing that I really appreciate is that you ask those questions and you dig deep and you're like, well, what is the story that you're telling yourself? Why, what is the real reason that this is holding you back? Because it's usually not a logistical thing. Usually it's some sort of emotional something or other from your past that you just like really need to like talk through in a almost like therapeutic type setting to get over. So that's how we came together. And I started your program to learn about hiring and team building.
Yeah. So that was, gosh, I lose track of dates, but it seems like a couple years ago. And I remember you saw some pretty quick changes and some pretty quick turnarounds. Do you remember some of those initial days?
Yeah.
Initial months?
Yes.
What was
So
possible for you?
oh yeah. And so here's the thing, like with some programs and some people, I just want to preface this, like everybody's timelines are going to be different. And so you have the ability to have your hand held through the process for a whole year. For me, I was able to achieve results really quickly. I'm definitely a quick start type of person. And so with the things that I learned, I was able to implement and raise my rates and start seeing results like within maybe a month, like at the most, which was
I
pretty
remember
crazy.
that.
And then it got to the point where I was so busy with everything that, you know, it just kind of took off pretty quick. So yeah, it was within like a month.
Yeah, and I remember you sending me a text message with your income for those 3 months, and it was essentially triple. We took the average of those 3 months, and it was triple what it had been right before that. And really, it was just a few changes that you made, and it was doubling down, getting serious, and being open to hiring a couple of people to help. And you took off, and it's been amazing. And so, I'm just in awe of you. And you just took it, and you took the estimating, templates and guides, and the pricing and all this, and you're like, yes. This is what I've been looking for. And then you just like blazed the path. And then like, where's Melanie? Where's Melanie? You were working because you were so busy. Well, hey, that's the good problem to have, right? And then
Yes.
fast forward a year. And do you remember when you told me, you said, now I'm able to work from home. Now I just send my team.
Yes. Yeah. That is my big claim to fame. That's what I, as a business coach, really try to help people do, because not everybody wants to do that. Like there are a lot of people that love being in the field, that love organizing, that don't like the business back end stuff. But for me, I really like running the business. I like being an entrepreneur. I like being able to have the freedom and flexibility of my time to work from home and be able to pursue other things in addition to running my organizing business. And so with what I learned about building teams, I was able to outsource the on-site organizing work to my team. And it's not like you have to build like this gigantic team either. Like I
Yeah.
have 4
It could be a few
employees.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, if I lost them, I now know how to go about hiring and like how to do that whole process and where to find
Yeah.
people and like keep the pool, all those things are really important, right? And so you need training to understand how to do that.
Absolutely.
Super, super important. So I learned all of that. My goal was when I started with you, I started, I think, in the spring. I had a whole year, and my goal was to, by the end of the program, I would be offsite. And wouldn't you know, I freaking did that. I made that transition, and now
Yes, you
I work
did.
100% from home. Yeah, yeah. Like it's amazing. And so I have a 4 and a 6-year-old. They are more or less homeschooled. One of them started like an online school program, so I don't actually do the curriculum, but I'm the learning coach or whatever. So I help her with
Cute.
her homework and all this stuff, and so I
Oh,
can
I
be there
love
for my
that.
kids. They're in the next room. I love fitness, so I teach fitness classes. It's the excuse that I need to go to the gym, so I'm able to do that. I also work as a professional public speaker. So I've been able to work on growing that side of my business and talking about organizing and decluttering and also just like general motivational stuff. And so I get to travel and do that. I also get to just travel for fun, which is super nice because my organizing business makes good money. And my team is able to benefit from that. I'm able to
Yeah.
benefit from that. But because I work from home and I have sort of like arranged my life and my schedule around the ability to do that, I now can go, like, for instance, just to share real quickly, I run 2 businesses. I run a business coaching business. I run my organizing business. I teach fitness classes, and I'm a public speaker. Okay. So very busy, weird person. People are like, how are you not completely dead and tired all the time? Because I work hard and I play hard. So what am I doing at the
Right.
end of this month? I am taking a momcation to Palm Springs.
That's
That,
incredible.
and I can do that.
I
I can
love
do
that so
that.
much.
So, and
It's
I'm
so
gonna,
inspiring. That's
yeah,
so
it
inspiring. I
really
know a
is.
lot of people who would love to get to that point, and you've just shown us what's possible. That's
Oh yeah.
beautiful. Well done.
Jump in head first, you guys, and then do the things on your bucket list. I'm going on a hot air balloon ride. I'm going on like a Jeep tour. Like I'm just like pulling out
Did you
all
say
the
Jeep
stuff.
tour?
Oh
Did you
yeah.
say Jeep? Ooh, that's my language right there.
I know Holly loves a good Jeep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. Well, if there's anybody on the fence of joining the uh, Rockstar organizers group, like what would be your honest advice to them?
Honest advice would be, if you feel that Holly is your person, just do it. Like it really is about a personality match when it comes to what you're looking for, because a lot of the business advice that you're going to get is there's going to be a lot of repeat information, but what is unique is the person, is the
Mm-hmm.
coach. And I can tell you, I've known Holly for a really long time. And obviously, like, we've met in person, we've had tons of conversations, and I know that she's genuine. I know that she really truly cares. I've seen her cry. I've cried to her. Like, it's the real deal. So you're going to want to look for, is this the right personal connection for me? Because
Mm-hmm.
another coach's personality might not be a good fit for you. And Holly may be your person. So if you feel like, oh, she gets me, like this, the information I'm getting, because everything that you're going to get, she's been doing this for a long time. And she
Mm-hmm.
meets people where they're at, especially if you've been established in business for a while and you're having trouble breaking through that ceiling. Like if you're at the point where you're ready to grow, but you don't know how to do it, this definitely is going to be the place where you're going to get every resource that you could possibly need. So I would say that if it feels like a good personality match, go for it, because you're going to get
Yeah,
the logistical stuff
for
and
sure. I
the
love that.
emotional support.
It's so true. It's so true. You got to click with somebody and you got to resonate with them because you're
Yeah,
going to be listening to them. And there's a lot of videos in the Rockstar portal, so
every day. Yeah, that's right.
lots of stuff in there that you can dig into.
Yeah.
Melanie, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it anytime. You know me, I'm always happy to pop in and say, hey, what's up? Because I miss you.
Oh,
We don't get
I
to
know
see
that
each other
makes
as
me happy
often.
to talk to you. Yes. Well, I won't keep you. I know you got some stuff to get to, but thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. Love you so much.
Absolutely. Have fun, you guys.
Toodles. All right. Melanie, the amazing Summers. Okay, so Matina is up next. And something about Matina is that she lives here locally to me. Matina, are you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, here she comes. Welcome, my dear. Matina
Hello.
with Two Tidy Tinas in Greenville. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm so happy to see you. So proud of all your recent results.
Thank you.
Yes, having your best month ever. It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to get I wanted to introduce you to some people who are going to be inspired by your story because Matina is someone who is, I would call you meticulous in certain ways, a meticulous studier and implementer, and you really think through things and you really take your time, like learning through things. And I think a lot of people resonate with that. You know, some people are going to resonate with Melanie. She's a quick start. She just blazes and goes right after it. I would say you more kind of hold back a little bit to figure out what you want to do and then you move forward and you have amazing results just as well. It's a different style, right?
Yeah.
And so when did you start your business? When did you start Two Tidy Tinas?
So, ironically, I had the idea February 2020, but we didn't launch publicly until September 2021. So, for the first like year and a half, Christina and I just built the business, like learning, how to have a business. Neither of us had
For
ever had
sure.
a business before. Figuring out our CRM and setting that up, our back end systems. We didn't want to show up at someone's house with like a paper contract. We wanted to be streamlined and organized and professional and
Yeah.
feel confident about what we're putting out there. So we did brand photography and basically did everything
It
we
looks so
possibly
good. I
could
love the photos.
until we just got them redone this past June, and they were very expensive, but they were very good. So I'm very
They look
excited
good.
about that. But we had, we just took our time, and it got to the point where I think Christina was like, okay, so we've done everything we possibly can do without clients. So when are we gonna like launch? So you've been saying meticulous. I'm like, yeah, that's
Accurate. Yeah.
we probably could have
I'm
launched
on to
a
you
month
just a little
earlier.
bit. I'm on to you.
So we just decided to do it in between both of our birthdays. So like mine's October 3rd, hers is September 23rd. So we just launched
Okay,
like,
we got some Libras in the house. I'm a
yeah,
Libra too. We got some Libras in the house. Okay, okay. So you launched at the end of 2021.
yes.
And then I think we connected in either end of 22 or beginning of 23. Do you remember when it was?
I don't remember when we officially connected, but I was looking for when I bought the first like cash. I think it was a Cash to Chaos thing was what I did first. And
Pricing
that was,
course.
yeah, that was June 2023, like June 14th.
Yeah, right
So
about a year and a half ago. Yeah, I remember that. That's probably around the same time I released it. And you implemented some things. And then maybe like 9 months later, you did my level 1 program reboot. And I loved having you in there and
yeah,
just having you be so honest and forthcoming and coachable. I always love it when people are that way.
oh, I'm
And what
glad.
kind of results? Huh?
I said, I'm glad you think I'm coachable because sometimes I'm like, am I too in my head to even like let anyone else in?
Oh, we're all in our head in our own ways. But you received it and you know made a few tweaks and even recently you came over and helped me get my attic organized and you were talking to me about your goals and I was like, well, it's going to be one of 6 things to get to your next level. And I just gave you an idea of, you know, the 6 things that it could be, which are essentially the 6 modules in momentum.
Yeah.
And you made some tweaks to that. So I consider that coachable because you just like did it. You know, you didn't think too long about it because then like last month, do you want to tell people what you told me the other day on Messenger?
So last month was the best month we've ever had in our business. And we hit 40K. And it was a shock to us because we had never even hit 30K before that. Like I think the best month before that was 27, like almost 28. 1,000, and that happened like once. And then we had another like 25 or 24, but we kind of were around the 15 or 20. Like that's kind of where we were. Some months were really slow, like 11,000, and then we'd have like 18,000. So it was just like this. So hitting 40, we're like, did we just reach a new level? Like, is the
We
rest
just went hockey stick up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. And one of the things that I love that you said was that it felt easy. And one of the things that I talk to y'all about is selling packages over the phone. And a lot of organizers don't believe that's possible. They think they got to get in there, do a custom proposal, which, yeah, there's a place for that sometimes. But a lot of times when you have some standard packages, like I teach in the pricing course, like you took, then you can very easily sell over the phone. And you sent me something saying, that was easy. Did I ask enough questions? But they bought your $6,000 package in 15 minutes. And you're like,
we didn't even have it on the
in your
website.
brain.
We literally didn't even have it on the website yet. I remember talking to you, and I had talked to Christina about switching from 10, 20, 30 hour package to 10, 20, 40, because we had noticed the same thing that you mentioned of like most people that buy the 30 actually need 40. So I think we had discussed it and we were like, okay, we're going to do it. And then neither of us did it. Like we just got really busy.
Yeah.
And this woman, like I had phone consultation scheduled with her, and she was like, I think it was only 15 minutes. Usually we like block off 30 minutes for the call.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I've worked with an organizer before. Like I'm ready. Like she wants to
ready.
And she's like, yeah, what is, I saw your packages. I'm probably going to need the biggest one. I'm like, well, I mean, we don't have it on the website yet, but we do have a 40-hour package too. And she's like, yeah, I'll take that. And I was like, and she's like, okay, for like $6,000. And I was like, I got off the call because it felt so easy. Like she was so eager. And I'm like, did I ask enough questions? Do I know what I'm walking into? Like, why was that so easy? Like I started overthinking. And then I looked up the house. I'm like, no, it's a nice neighborhood. It's a nice house. She didn't give me any red flags. Like, maybe this isn't supposed to feel like. And I talked to Christina about the same thing. She's like, I probably would have done the same thing. Like she was like, no, I think you asked enough questions. And she's been a great client.
That's amazing.
And I think she even told us recently, this unlocked something in my brain too. She was like, I went to your website and I had to look if you were actually in Greenville because you guys look like you were too good to be in Greenville. And that like blew my head up. So like, really? Thank you.
Tina's ego.
That was so sweet.
Oh my God, that's cute.
It's like, please don't leave me. Like she needs a lot of decluttering help. So I feel like we'll be with her for a while. But
yeah. Well, I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. And those big projects, it's not even just about the money, although the money is exciting when you've been a business owner and you've been working so hard and then you have a break where you're like, okay, there's a cash flow windfall. But really, it's so incredible because you get to help people at a deeper level, at a wider level. You get a bigger project. You get to make a bigger impact. And that's really what I know that our hearts love at the end of the day. It's like doing a total transformation, right?
Yeah.
Not just doing a little closet here or a little pantry there, but like getting to really get in there and do the work is exciting for us, right?
It is. And I feel like when they purchase a big package, it can be scary for them, but also it shows their commitment level, kind of same probably with your coaching clients. Like if they're going to invest in the higher ticket item, you would assume that, they're going to be fully bought in and show up and put in the work and really show up.
You would assume it's true a lot of the times, but not all the times. But yes, people typically once they put their chips in, cash their chips in, however they phrase it, like then they're more invested, right? It's the same with home organizing and coaching.
And when I went to that client, I remember walking around and kind of doing a needs assessment because we had only spoken on the phone. I hadn't seen the house to assess the whole situation. And she was showing me everything. And I was quickly realizing this is going to be way more than 40. It's a 7,000 square foot home and it's like very cluttered. But she had told me about working with other organizers. And I feel like one of the comments she made is like, well, I don't think I want to spend more than another 3,000 or like, I don't know what she said. She's like another 3,000 or something. Like I do know you're worth it, but you are expensive. And I like, didn't make a comment. I was just like, I understand. Like, I just like, kept going. And then, towards the end of the conversation, she was like, well, I have budgeted $10,000 for this. And like, she was like more open to, continuing to work together. And
I
she
love that.
realized, huh?
I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, as you reflect on your journey with some of the training that you've received, some of the work that we've done together, some of the maybe other coaching that you've received and other courses you've done, what advice and encouragement would you give to someone who's maybe a couple years in, like you were whenever we met, and they're trying to decide, like, how do I grow? How do I go to the next level? Like, what advice would you give them?
Yeah. Business is very hard. Learning how to run a business is hard. I think the hardest part is the fear. Like especially when this is your livelihood, especially if you have, I don't have children, but I can only imagine, you're more responsible if you're a primary breadwinner for your family. It's a lot of, on the line. But the fear also keeps you small. So like if you let the fear have a bigger space in your brain and your heart than it needs to, it's going to keep you small. And I think, we don't shy away from our faith too. Like we trust God. We pray to him. I think you said something like your business is built on Google and God. And I resonate a lot with that. Exactly. I feel like the same. Yeah.
Accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think when you can do it anyway, like acknowledge the fear, but recognize it's just fear. It's not facts, and do it anyway, and find someone like Holly, kind of like what Melody was saying. Like if you click with Holly, you can work with Holly, or if you find another coach or whoever, like if you know it's going to work, if you see the evidence, and Holly does a really great job of showing the evidence, don't let that have more weight, because if you trust yourself and you trust God and you put in the work, it's going to work out. It might not work immediately, but it will. And you can't let the fear keep you from making those big steps, those little big baby steps to get to that next level. You have to put yourself out there. You have to do things that feel uncomfortable, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I mean, just like we train our clients, like decluttering does not feel good. I mean, it does when you're done with it, but like during the process of doing it, it's very uncomfortable. You have to confront your own shame and guilt and buying things. You're like, why do I have this for so long? I could have done this myself. There's all these things roll in your head, and you have to tell them like, yeah, you could have done it yourself, but you haven't, and that's okay. And we're here to help.
But
and
you haven't. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're overwhelmed, and it's okay to ask for help. Like I don't like doing it for myself either, believe it or not. Like I'm a professional organizer and I procrastinate decluttering my own closet, so it's like
Accurate.
it's hard. But finding the support you need, doing it anyway, doing it scared, and recognizing that if you try your best and you follow proven methods and you're faithful, it will work out. Like you will be able to do it.
So well said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard somebody say recently, decide that it will work, and it will.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really powerful, because so many times we decide that it won't work, and that's the fear.
Yes.
But if we decide that it will work and then we put in the work, then it works.
Yeah.
Funny how that happens.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. Go ahead.
I was one last thing I was going to say. I heard someone else say this in a different mastermind. She said, she's a neuroscientist. So she said, like, the front part of your brain is the executive part of your brain. And that's where, you're the CEO, right? Like you're doing all the CEO tasks. But the back side of your brain, the fear side, is the amygdala. That's like the fight or flight response. If you're operating from fear, you're only doing things that are keeping you in fight or flight. You're not able to actually enter into your part of your brain. So that's another part of really working on that mindset and that fear, and finding someone like Holly or someone who can help you through that fear, because you're not going to be able to get to that CEO part if you're only operating from there.
Yeah, so true. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Yeah, for those of you who are interested in what it might be like to work together, like Matina's talking about, you can check out jointherockstars.com. It's a simple assessment that you can take to get a score of where you're at in your business, where you might be to take the next step. I have 3 different levels of how to work with me, and depending on where you're at and where you want to go, then I can help you get there quicker. And Matina is a beautiful example of someone who is committed and someone who's letting go of the fear and moving forward anyways. And so I just wanted to let you inspire some others because you inspire me.
Thank you. You inspire me too.
Sending you so much love.
So much.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
All right. Isn't she beautiful? I love her so much. Okay. So next up we have Devetta, and Devetta is a force. I freaking love Devetta. She's giggling backstage back here. So Devetta is the founder of Hampton Roads Home Organizers, and that's like the North Carolina, Virginia line, I believe. And she joined Momentum, which is my level 2 program I believe it was last summer, when she was really just starting out. And so I got to witness her putting in some real effort to like getting things started, even rebranding, like putting herself out there. And I just love her so much, and you're going to love her too. So Devetta, are you ready? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, here she comes. The beautiful. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Oh, I'm so happy to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you too.
Yeah, girl.
That blue looks great on you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. So tell us a little bit about your organizing journey. So when exactly did you get started?
So, I started the business initially in March of 2024. I
Almost a
met
year ago.
you. Yeah, I met you shortly after. I was still very new. I believe at the time I had only had one client prior to meeting you, and of course, things have just been amazing since then. So, yeah, pretty new still.
Amazing. And how did we get connected? Do you remember?
Well, for one, of course, I was a part of the infamous Stalkers Club. If you know, you know. But
Oh,
many of
Rock
you, I'm
Holly
sure.
Stalker Club. I have one of those. Yeah. Yeah. Grace Ramon
So,
is the president. So that the
yeah,
presidency is not up for renewal because she is forever renewing. But Devetta might become the vice president. Let's just put it that way.
there we go.
There you go. So
So,
you were
yeah,
part of the
just
Stalkers
definitely.
Club. We
Oh, yeah.
connected.
Yeah. Of course, looking into you, looking into many successful organizers who have come through you as well. Just looking into them, trying to see how that's been going for them
Yeah.
as well. And so, but in terms of initial connection, I believe at first I joined a social media workshop, something that you were putting on social media for me initially. That was just the hardest thing.
Hmm.
Just naturally, I'm not a social media person. My accounts are very, I just kind of repost things and that sort of thing. So I really needed help with social media and visibility. So that's kind of how we connected. And from there, I went on to looking further into pricing, packages, that sort of thing. I believe you had a guide. And then it's just been it from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So joined Momentum, of course, shortly after that.
Yeah,
And
you
it's just been
did.
a blast.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you really feel you've gained the most from being in Momentum, whether you
Mm,
expected them or not?
yeah. Well, one of the main things, of course, is that I confidently sell packages as large as about $3,000 over the phone in about 20-minute conversations. The clients that I'm interacting with have a very good idea of who I am, pricing, that sort of thing. So when we connect, it's already a very intentional connection. And so that's been something that's been wonderful that I've learned since being here. Of course, I'm in a community, with like-minded women that are on the same path as well, that are brilliant, that are all open to sharing, collaborating. It's just that's so beautiful too. And just
Absolutely.
overall the confidence boost. So, just like I always say, like you say, I have what it takes. I'm the woman for the job, and more people need to know about me. So,
More people need to know about me. Yes, ma'am, they do. Yeah, so if you're in Hampton Roads, you need to call Devetta. She's your girl. Yeah, so I love Devetta. I love having Devetta in our community, and she's such a bright light and has really put herself out there for support, which I admire because some people join, but then they still kind of hide back a little bit. But you've come forward for support, and that's just something that not everybody does, but I see you do that. And I think that's why you've grown so much is because you've allowed yourself to try new things, fumble a little bit, just like everybody does, try again, and now you've got a situation going on with a big potential package that's really exciting. And
Yes,
coming forward for support, possibly, landing one of your biggest projects ever, and
yes,
to really help some folks out. It's amazing.
definitely. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What would you tell somebody who was in like summer 24 develop mode? Like if somebody was in your position like last May, kind of before you joined Rockstar Organizers and kind of where you were at, like what kind of advice would you give to someone in your shoes?
Um, One, like you were just talking about too in the with the previous clip as well, but just decide that it will work, and it will. I know initially when when I was trying to join Momentum, which I was extremely interested in, like I felt like I connected with you immediately from seeing you on YouTube, on Facebook. Just I was like, yes, like I need Holly. I was like, I need the support. I just need that. And so, but I did have a struggle thinking like, yeah, this works for other people, but will this work for me? And so just that anyway, in terms of something helpful for other people, like be ready to get out of your own way, like to step aside and to really show up, to be all that you're supposed to be and really show up for yourself and for your clients. So
Girl,
yeah,
yes.
do that.
Girl, yes. Love that so much. Anything else you would add?
Um, Maybe one other thing, of course, is just to stay coachable.
Mm,
Definitely, always be open to new ideas, always be also open to people who are 10 steps ahead and know that you can learn from any and everyone. I know that that's one thing I appreciate from this group is even when we have like our weekly Q&A, just things like that, though I may not have a question or I may not be in other people's positions, like where they're having big events and things like that, but we still all learn from each other. So staying coachable is so, so helpful. And to, of course, just to say that implementers get results.
that's
So
right.
it's that.
Preach, sister. Preach, preach, preach. Well, I love that so much. And if you want to get some similar results as Devetta, you want to be in a community with Devetta because let's be honest, who wouldn't? Devetta's awesome. This is where you can apply to join us, jointherockstars.com. Take a quick assessment. It'll give you an idea of where you're at and it'll help you get to where you want to go. And Devetta, it's been lovely having you on. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I hope you have the most amazing night.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Elizabeth. You ready, Elizabeth? All right, come on up, my dear. Hello. How are you? Amazing. Happy to see you.
You too.
San Diego, California. What is it, 4:15 over there?
Yep.
So not quite dinner time. Finished with work time.
My parents are watching the kid. I'm at my mom's house right now, so
Oh, nice.
have some quiet for a minute.
Yes. Well, Elizabeth had an amazing win today. If you're open to sharing, you want to jump right into your amazing win that you texted me?
Yes.
That you posted?
I was having a down day yesterday, and I was like, how am I going to make my February goal? Like, what are we doing here? I've got a lot of pending clients that are waiting on home closures and remodels to finish, and I need to drum up some business. So I went on Facebook and found sorry, I thought it was one of the kids. I found a Facebook group for military moving. We have a lot of military in San Diego. So I just did a random post on there. One other group signed off, went on with my day. And then a few hours later, I get a call, and it is a doctor who retired from the military, and she's always out of town, always traveling, and just needs help getting her home organized. And the more we chatted, the more she let me know she has a lot of stuff. She didn't have a lot of photos, but now I've seen some, and I'm not scared. But I know the big job. She has guests coming next Wednesday, so it's like, let's go. And I sold her 60 hours over the phone. I have not met her. I've not seen her house. We're doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This doctor's gonna get some help. I love it.
My biggest package before that was 20, and only that was last month, thanks to Holly. So
yeah, and you just joined a couple months ago, like 2 months ago, right?
Yeah, December, like right before
First
Christmas.
week of December.
Yeah.
Yeah, you came to the Sell Your Packages Challenge. First part of December, first week. You implemented some stuff. You put some stuff into practice. you and Angela got in cahoots with each other in a little pod. Y'all are both just total rock stars.
Yeah, she's great.
And I guess it was maybe 3 or 4 months earlier that you had bought my Chaos to Cash course.
Yeah, I think September.
Gotten the pricing in place. And so by the time you learn some of the selling stuff, you're like, off to the races, baby. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So how does that feel? I'm curious.
It feels so good. I started my business last March, and I am also working my other job. And so it's been just a crazy year. I have a 4-year-old and a husband who's like, hello, where are you? So I just really needed this to pay off because it's been a lot of juggling for the past year. So, and I am stubborn. I am stubborn as heck. I did natural childbirth. I cried for 3 years of learning to surf and just kept going. I'm like, I am a dig in and we are going to make this happen kind of person. So I just knew I needed the right help right away. And I'm so happy to find you because you're helping me expedite the whole process like I could not do on my own.
Absolutely. What parts do you feel like have been most helpful to expedite?
The bravery to say big numbers. I was doing a lot of underselling just because I'm new. I'm very confident in my old business and I'm very green in this new, but I'm trying to fake it till I make it. And I know I am of value, but I also know that I'm new. So I was just scared to lose the opportunity to work with someone if I said too big of a number. So I was selling really small until I found you.
Like what kind of packages were you selling beforehand, if you don't mind me asking?
Literally just session by session, 3 to 5 hour sessions. I even worked with a client for 2 hours because that's all she could afford. And she had me a few times, but you couldn't get anything done. So the biggest thing is getting stuff done finally and actually making a difference. Feels so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are some of your goals? Like, where would you love to be? Where do you want to take this?
Yeah. So ideally, what I was not confident doing in my other job with makeup was having a team because I felt like I needed to be there and I knew more and I had the whole bedside manner and all the things. And I don't want to start this business that way. I want to start humble and have a team pretty quickly so that we can all do it together. And then when I don't want to work or I want to be out of town, I can be sending them confidently without me. So I've already had a lot of assistance and I will this weekend too. So I'll be looking for those star players who I can be sending on jobs without me soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to change your life.
Can't wait.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me more about this. Like, how did you know back whenever we connected? You know, I don't know if it was through the pricing or the challenge, but how did you know that Rockstar Organizers was right for you? Because there's a lot of different options out there. There's a lot of different, great coaches and great programs. But what was it for you that you saw or heard that was like, yeah, this is what I want to pursue, or this is what I want to do? Do you remember what that was?
I wish I remember a certain thing you said. I just kept getting the algorithm's great, right? It just feeds you what you want to see. But I just kept getting all your content and just really jived with who you are. But also, I was an art major. I am not a business person. I've had to force myself to be, but you have so many nuggets of wisdom with sales and marketing that when I did, like you said before, I did all your free content first. And I'm like, if I'm learning from this, like what more is she keeping from me? I need to pay to find out. And I'm so glad I have. It's been.
Yeah. You quickly found out that once you joined, there was nothing more in there other than what was free. It was just completely, basic. There was not enough to watch and not enough to do. So
No, there is endless material. It is not overwhelming. Holly gave me a great tip. She's like, don't go too hard. Don't burn yourself out. The way you go through all the material is just maybe an hour or 2 block per day tops, and implement it. The main thing is I'm kind of like you've said too. I'm a researcher where I could go down rabbit holes forever, but don't just learn it, like do it. So I've been trying to take that into practice.
Yeah. What are some of the things you've been implementing lately? I'm curious.
I think the way I talk to clients and then like the phone assessments, I'm like you. I don't want to. San Diego is really big and there's traffic and I'm already busy. So I don't want to be running around town. The main thing is just feeling very confident, just doing it all over the phone has been huge. Because I think going in for an interview, I had a client recently where I went to her house. It's the only consult I've ever done, and it felt like I had the job in my pocket. I sent her a contract immediately. I get home, and she's like, "Ooh, actually, my husband said no." And I'm like, "Wow, what a waste of time. I sat in 45 minutes of traffic to get home. It was my day off." Like, I was like, what did I just do? I'm just doing the phone because the phone works too. So
It does.
That's a huge thing I might not have done without you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why do you think you would have not tried that? I'm curious.
Because other coaches I had chatted with were all about having to show up. They're like, you'll sell almost everyone if you just show up and sell yourself. But I think if you come across confident, and another advice tip you've given me is to sit back and listen. There's been moments where they're rambling on and I can't get a word in, and I'm like, that's okay. Holly said, just let them talk. I think they need to feel heard is the main thing, whether it's in person or on the phone. So I'm letting them be heard, mirroring what they say, and making sure they feel understood with what they want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my sales coaches said at one point that people buy from people, not from people they understand, but who they feel understood by.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that really resonated with me.
My dad always said in social situations, if you are nervous and don't know what to say, ask them about themselves. And he told me that in like 6th grade. And I'm like, oh, that's like sales coaching. But yeah, it's just true. We are selfish beings who just want to talk about ourselves.
Well, I think that's why people get so nervous about sales, is because they feel blah blah blah. They feel like I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
When in reality, what I tell people is, well, it's not so much about what to say as what to ask. Yeah. An expert is somebody who knows the right questions to ask, not just somebody who knows all the right things to say. But an expert knows exactly what to ask, where to tap, where to go, what to do next, as far as leading somebody down a process. And that's really what sales is. And I learned a lot from Nikki Rausch back in like 2017, 2018, I think, right around that time. And I was not a natural salesperson. And over time, I realized, okay, well, you don't have to be natural at it. You don't have to be a natural salesperson. You have to be a natural marketer. But that's part of why I'm able to give y'all some nuggets, because I myself have been through the fire with all of these things and learning how to dissect what really is sales, what really is marketing, what's the difference, what comes first, where do you misstep, where do you go wrong, And that's really why Momentum is so freaking detailed with, a 300-page playbook, not to overwhelm anybody, but all the scripts are in there of like what to do and what to say, or at least the principles, so that you know why you're doing and saying what you're doing, even if you're not saying the exact thing. You don't want to skip the principles. And I love how you've embraced that, Elizabeth, and you've jumped in and implemented some things and just allowed yourself to trust and allowed yourself, even though you call yourself stubborn, I just see you as determined. I see you as somebody who knows what she wants. And I remember you telling me, you're like, I want this to work. I don't feel like I have years to like figure it out by myself to make it work, to like replace the other, business that you're, moving away from. Mm-hmm. And so I just respect a lot that you have come in, learned, implemented, sold some big packages, already surpassed your goals. You just are such a beautiful person. You inspire me.
Thank you, Holly. Same to you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah.
And for anybody who is inspired by Elizabeth and wants to be in a community with her because she's awesome, this is where you can check out how to apply. JoinTheRockstars.com. Take a quick assessment, see where you might fit in the lineup. Elizabeth is in Momentum with us right now, and she is a gem. So thank you so much for coming, and I'll chat with you later.
Sounds good. Everybody join.
Yeah. The right people join. All right, my friends, we've got a couple more people. Let me see who else is on our lineup. I think we have at least 2 more tonight and then several tomorrow. So Laura Barnes is also in California. You ready to come on up, Laura? Thumbs up. Okay, my friend, what is up? How are you?
Hi.
It's still 4 o'clock over there, right? 4:30 over there in California.
Yeah.
So it's sunny. It's like dark on my porch over here on the East Coast, but you're still bright. How's your day going?
I'm gonna go outside and see if I can play.
Okay. Of course, right as I
That's mom life right there.
yeah. My day is good. I had a client and it went really well.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thanks so much for coming on. I wanted people to be able to hear your story, and Laura is totally a true rock star. I see your weekly reports come in. You're one of the most consistent people with tracking and doing your weekly tracking and staying on top of the numbers, even when it's boring. You're like, I'm committed, and so I know you're going great places because of that. And I just wanted people to be able to hear a little bit about you, kind of how you started, where you're at now, where you want to go. So if you don't mind just telling all the lovely people out there, when did you start your business and how did you initially get started?
I started about it's going to be almost 3 years ago now. I spent a whole year organizing my own home. And by the end of it, I thought to myself, I could do this. This is like, I really enjoy doing that. Most people would say organizing their whole home. They probably don't enjoy doing it, but I was like really into it. So I started to just search on the internet how to turn it into a business because I have zero business background at all. And I just took baby steps and jumped in and went for it.
That's amazing. Googled it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's how you get resourceful. You Google some stuff. And you are a nurse. You have a nursing background. And so, you said you didn't have a business background, but you do still have that. And I have a nursing background too. You do still have that helping people profession. And that's a huge part of getting organized too, because you're all up in people's business, literally. And kind of seeing what's going on in their everyday life, how to take care of them, how to help them to the next thing. In some ways, it actually kind of is similar to nursing because you're helping people move through stuff, even if it's moving through clutter. So I definitely see a lot of similarities there. And what made you decide, when we connected maybe about a year ago, what made you decide that you wanted to take your business more seriously and kind of take it to the next level? Do you remember what that was?
I can't really remember like an actual point. I just have really enjoyed seeing what I can do and what pushing myself gets. And I mean, like I've been in the same career for like over 20 years and I'm kind of, I just go to work, right? But with this, I'm continuing to learn and grow and do things that I didn't think I would ever be doing in my life. Never thought I'd be a business owner.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what even because like a couple weeks ago, I was ready to quit and I just thought, nope, just keep going because you have done so much already. Just keep chipping away and moving forward. And just being in a group of, other organizers helps keep you going, even when because we all have those dips,
We definitely do. We want to quit every once in a while. I think that's true for every entrepreneur. And one of my mentors recently called it the breakdown before the breakthrough. Sometimes you start getting to this point where you're like, okay, is this working? I'm really tired. Like I'm really drained. You're not seeing maybe the numbers do what you want them to do. But it's crazy as an entrepreneur, and especially as an organizer who can sell these multiple $1,000 packages very quickly, even over the phone like you've done. Like it can change literally overnight with one client. Like one project can make such a big difference. And so I know that that's something that shifted for you, was starting to sell some packages and starting to get some bigger projects and just the confidence that you expressed that brought to you to be able to do that, So what would you say over the last year of working together would be some of your wins that you've been proud of?
Completely changing like my business model and how I run it instead of just doing like estimating how long it's going to take to do a project and then just going session by session and kind of chasing a client like you want to keep going. Now, I sell them as much as I think they need and they keep realizing they need more. So we just keep going and keep selling them another package. And I mean, you get to the end eventually. finish their house, but yeah, you just keep selling those packages.
Yeah. So what has selling these packages meant for your life? Like, what's it made possible for you in your own life?
It's really streamlined. Like, do you mean personally or just in the business?
Yeah. Like, what's it made possible for you to be able to do this? Like, what's it meant for you personally?
So I still work as a nurse. That is my main income, but this has allowed me to just have that extra money that I need to do all the things that I want to do without having to pick up extra, at the hospital. This is something I typically enjoy doing a little bit more than working a 12-hour shift. I'm still helping people.
Yeah.
It's and it's rewarding. So it's a great way to supplement my income and hopefully one day, it'll take over.
Yeah.
That's the goal one day.
Yeah, I love it. So whenever you joined, I remember you saying something like you liked the fact that you had a plan, like a clear plan of like this, this and that to do, or do this, then this, not just kind of a free for all with everybody, giving their opinion and then you just kind of pick what works for you, but it was actually a method. So what has that provided for you, just having that method and having that plan?
It's really streamlined everything. Now I have like a total routine when a client comes in. Before, I had a flow that I would follow, but this one is it just seemed more, I don't know, it fit better and it just flowed better. And it was just more of like check off the boxes each time a client would come in, and it's the same thing. So I'm getting good at it because you're just practice over and over.
And organizers love to check all the boxes, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
We love a good checklist. It's our love language.
Yeah.
Give me a good checklist. Yeah, I appreciated that you said that because I realized that that's one of the things that makes Rockstar Organizers different is that some coaching programs have a leader who might still be an active organizer and just kind of has some resources about what's worked for them, and that's great. The thing that's different about Rockstar Organizers is it's a full method, really from start to finish, and deeply detailed and deeply documented so that you can pick right up and get results quickly. And Laura is someone who got results quickly and was able to sell some packages quickly because she implemented, she followed. And I just realized that this says, it didn't say my name, it had a little colon on it. That's funny. Just notice that. But I love that about you, that you're a good student and you've been such an inspiration to those in our community. You're consistent. You show up. I love your questions. I love just having you on the calls and just talking to you at the Q&As. And I see you going great places.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else you would add?
Well, like I've been in other coaching programs, and what you said was spot on. It's like people that are, they're telling you what's worked for them, and they can offer you like answers to your questions. But it was joining Rockstars was totally different than those. And it was like how, I can't remember what I said to you, but I remember saying something along the lines of like, I just need to be told what to do and how to do it. And I didn't realize I was a quick start when I joined, but I quickly figured that out when I was like, here's the plan. It's like handed to you. Just do these things. And then it worked. So then you keep
Imagine
doing
that.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us tonight. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. We got one last friend for the night. And for those of you who may be listening and curious what all this is about and possibly want to join us, go to jointherockstars.com. Let me see if there's any comments coming in. Okay. So our last one is, I mean, I have a lot of favorites. I can't really say one is my favorite because I have so many favorites. Okay, they're all my favorites. This one. She's a nut. We spent some time together recently on this porch right here. Yes, I'm talking about the Sandy Eaton of High Point, North Carolina.
All right, we got to behave.
What'd you say?
I said we got to behave. Got to be a good
No.
example.
No, we ain't behaving. We ain't behaving for nobody.
That's right. Can you hear me okay? Do I need to turn up or
hear you.
anything? Okay.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm like you.
misbehaving?
It's already dark out there. Yeah, a little bit. You know, you got to have a little fun. But
That's
yeah,
funny.
I'm just trying to stay well. Every other person in my life has the flu right now. So I'm just
no,
like,
thank you.
stay away. I've got stuff to do. So
You just stay over there, people.
right. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so glad that you could make this work tonight to chat. I invited Sandy on and she was like, me?
You know you texted me, right? Like you didn't get that wrong.
I was like, yes, you're the only Sandy Eaton I know.
All
So
right.
I've been inspired by Sandy, and I want to share a little bit about this with you because Sandy has been in business for 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
And she was doing great. And then she hit a slump. And sometimes that happens in business. And tell us how you were feeling whenever you were doing great and then all of a sudden not.
Yeah. So yeah, as of January, it's now been 4 years. So in the first year, I was still working full time. I was in corporate land, you know, working 60-hour weeks, dying slowly every day inside, soul crushing. And knew like 2021 was a 20 and 2021. I was turning 50 in that area. So that gives you my age as well. So having kind of like that life, let's think about what we're doing here. You know, can we do this job another 20 years, 15 years? No, I can't. And I had this little dream in my heart for about a decade at that point, after watching my first HGTV show where there was a professional organizer. And I'm like, this is a thing? Really? Like you could do this? So it took me a while to get on board, but yeah, we made the decision, hubby and I, and you know, couldn't been worse timing. Had a kid going off to college.
Gosh.
You know, I mean, it's a perfect time to quit that corporate job. But you know, it was kind of like, if I don't start, I'm never going to do it. So it's like, let's jump in. But you know, like that first year was nights and weekends, and then finally by like April of the next year, 22, it was, okay, this has kind of caught on and maybe I could look for a part-time job. So a part-time job came up, quit the corporate world, focus part-time. And then, excuse me. And then last May, I quit the part-time job. So May of 2024, because things were looking so good. And I said, oh, with all this time, I'm just going to do all the things, you know, the to-do list. I'm going to be everything to everybody, and I'm going to drive myself crazy trying every new thing that I've been waiting to do.
That's a great business strategy.
Yeah. And I'm just not even, well, I should say, you know, I was basically a marketing major, you know, like, and my corporate job was more like, I should have known better, but like you get so excited, you go,
oh yeah, totally.
This is working. Everything should be working. So
oh yeah, that was me too back in the day. I was like trying to do everything, and it just you quickly realize like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. Right.
Hold up.
And it's summer and it should be pretty busy, steady, and it's crickets. And I'm like, what is happening? So that was May, June. So finally by August, I had finally hit basically the lowest I had made revenue since I had gone even part-time. And I'm like, this is definitely not heading in the right direction. And at this point, I'm so frustrated. I don't know what to do. You know, like I feel like everything I've tried has failed. Nothing has gained any traction, you know, and, you know, my loving husband who's in the other room, but, you know, he's like, well, are you doing everything you can? I'm like, well, no, because everything I can is 12 people. You know, I need to know the right things to do that make my time the most effective and get right to it. And so somewhere in that September range, Holly started popping up on my, you know, Instagram feed or something. I'm like, who is this girl talking about? Feast, no more famine. It's, you know,
Feast or famine.
no more famine months. It's all the
Are you
feast.
treating
And,
your
you know,
organizing business like a hobby and you have feast or famine months? You know, I practice that ad script.
like I am famining so much right now. I can't even tell you. Oh, the dog just came in. So, you know, it really spoke to me, plus the, you know, the steady 10K months. And that was like magically the number I was going for, you know, like, oh my gosh. And then you're a professional organizer. You have done this. You're only coaching professional organizers. And I had not really come across that. I, you know, bought into a couple of just small business type programs, and, you know, they may have given me an idea here or there, but it was still on that long list. These are all the things I could be doing, but I don't know that any of them are going to get me what I want, or, you know, where I'm trying to go.
That's so relatable.
Yeah. So, so I think I tried some like free one workshop thing with you, and, you know, was like mesmerized. And then, and then decided to do like a weekend thing, and was like, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You came to Rockstar Organizers Live in October.
Oh, yes. So after that, I was like, okay, she seems to have all the answers. And because, first of all, you've already done this for what, like 10 years more?
This is year 18.
18, right. So, and you've poured your heart and soul into the tools, the modules, the videos, and, you know, you're there or in group settings or whatever. And you just your personality too was just always so giving, you know. And even the free things that I attended, it was like, wow, this is powerful. You know, if this is free, I can't imagine what the paid stuff is going to be like. This is going to be awesome. So, so I joined, I think it was at the beginning of November, maybe late October. And by the end of November, I definitely seen an upswing. And then I think I told you the other day, December and January, it's basically like triple where I was in August. Still not quite at that 10K month, but I'm just so close. And what I know now is I have the tools and I know what's going to work. And it's just the keep at it every day, doing the things, the visibility, getting yourself out there, getting your name out there, and showing people what you're all about. So,
yeah. And what you're uniquely all about. That's something I really loved doing with you as our VIP day when you came here to my porch and you found your voice. You found, okay, well, who do I really want to be talking to? Not just who do I feel like I should be talking to, which is everybody and their mom and their dog, but who do I really want to be talking to?
Right. Exactly.
And I think that's one of the mistakes that we all make as business owners, is trying to go just kind of spread too wide rather than going deeper. And that's something that I feel like you and I really worked on, you embraced, is to like, okay, well, who is my niche? Well, it's basically Sandy 5 years ago who was frustrated trying to do everything herself. And why couldn't her family just read her mind and like pick up? Why? For the love, people.
And surprisingly, there are other people out there that feel the same way I do. So, you know, it's resonating, which is great.
Yes.
So, and even out of my, go ahead. Sorry.
Your content feels so much more punchy, you know, because you're talking about the mistakes that they're making.
Oh yeah.
Rather than just, I can turn your chaos into calm, people.
Right.
Let me wave my magic wand for you. You know, it's like people actually kind of want to hear more about the pain than the solution, believe it or not.
Right.
But we're moving them towards the solution. We're moving them towards the promised land. But unless we resonate with the pain that they're in today and the moment of ick that's going through the storyline in their head about why things are not working, and then they see somebody else talking about it online, they're like, oh, she got a camera in my house somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, she be listening to me. My wire been tapped. Yeah.
Exactly. And I I'm not just picking that niche, but I mean, I feel like I can truly say, like, I've been there, and these things, doing these things help. It's not a magic wand, it's not whatever, but it will help you get out of this weight that you're carrying, that you can feel like things are doable now. And I don't feel like I'm just weight at work and I come home and there's more weight, so it does seem to be resonating. Yeah. So
it's a lot.
And what do you always say? Like, give it like 3 months. So,
it's like
February, March. It's going to be
always talk about seed time and harvest, and how a seed doesn't bloom the same day that you plant it. You cannot expect a full-blown cherry blossom in the field the day after you plant it. But yet organizers will make a post and be like, well, why did nobody comment? Why did I get any clients from it? I'm like, honey, you got to post consistently to the same person for 3 months, and then maybe a harvest will come, and then you still need to be consistent, right? But a lot of people who never run a business don't really get that, and so they're just kind of doing the exciting things and not really the necessary and sometimes boring things, which is often sales and marketing for organizers. They find it boring. They're like, I don't feel capable at this.
Right.
But they don't like it. Hey, I'm the same way. I've just learned a lot over the years.
Right.
Paid a lot of people to learn a lot of things, and now I'm trying to turn around and teach y'all, right?
That's right.
What
Exactly.
do you call that?
Grateful.
Linda Grodd used to call me the Robin Hood. You go get the stuff and bring it back to the people. That's how I feel about the organizers. I'm like, y'all are my people. I love you. Your marketing sucks. Here, try this instead,
It is. And I tell you, between the, the big things that were like, duh, again, had so much marketing in my background. It's like, why couldn't I come up with that on my own? But I didn't have to. You figured it out.
Well, it's so hard to see our own stuff.
Yeah. But the pricing structure, I'd been agonizing over how to price this versus that versus that. And you're like, nope, here's the simple way to do it. I'm like, that's brilliant. Or your scripts, I would agonize. It's the things that, perfectionists, right? Agonize over. I'm going to sit here and spend for 10 minutes or more about this. How am I going to say this? How am I going to do this? And, you give us these little scripts of, here's somebody you haven't talked to in a while, shoot them a text. And I mean, that has been a good portion of the upswing. Is I thought I was going out to my old, my previous clients, but apparently I wasn't, because the minute I started doing this, they're like, heck yeah, when can you get here again? It's like, again, it's brilliance because it's simple, it makes sense. It's easy to follow. Yeah, there are nuances and whatever and that kind of stuff. But when I get up each morning, I know what I need to be doing. Okay. Like if I'm not going on a job, I know I'm sitting here and these are the 3 or 4 things that are going to move the needle. And that's what I'm going to focus on today. And I don't feel like I'm wasting my time, which is great.
That's everything.
That is everything. My time is valuable.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And so anyway, this has been an answer to my prayers. I'm not going to get all mushy here, but this, finding Holly, I swear is an answer to the prayers, because I was praying a lot in August and September of, please don't make me go back to corporate.
Amen.
Help me find a way. And Holly showed up on my feed, and that was it. And I truly feel that. So thank you, Holly, for all that you have done to put this program together.
Oh, that's so sweet. I consider you my birthday present. You came in on September 26th into my world, which is my birthday, my 40th birthday. So Sandy is my 40th birthday present to myself. And you've just been such a delight. Like everything you just said it just warms my heart and just gives me so much joy.
Good.
and makes me remember why I spent all the years
that's right.
holed up away in my condo in Ann Arbor, figuring this stuff out and making spreadsheets for 12 hours at a time till my eyes go crazy.
Right.
And then Sandy's like, I got a checklist and I know what to do. And I'm like, you're the reason I did this.
That's right.
You're the reason for those many, many hours. Right.
Thank you.
And just the fact that you can implement them, you can feel like you save time. You feel like you can grow your business, get it back out of the ditch, not have to go back to corporate, provide for your family. It's just everything.
It is. It is everything. And I'm grateful and just, I don't know. I can't say enough words in the positive realm there. That
it's so sweet.
It has changed my life, and I'm grateful. The end. You and Quad.
We have a relationship with Claude AI. We call him Quad.
Yes.
Quad, our old buddy Quad.
That's another way that I'll spin is
AI,
I'm not a copywriter, so I will spin all my words and
he
having
can do
that.
it. He's
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
He's our buddy. He's
He
our
is
buddy
our
Quad.
buddy. He is our buddy.
Is there anything else that you would add as far as, the program or the community and, anybody who's on the fence about the program or the community, what would you encourage them with?
Yeah. So, I mean, I've already spoken a lot about the program, and I mean, there's just not enough work. I mean, I'm still going through it. So there's stuff I haven't even uncovered yet, but it's, has been a huge change just quickly. That helps you write the course, gets you where you need to be going, and it starts you down that path. But I mean, the community is huge too. I mean, Holly by herself is wonderful, but we have these little Monday meetings that are like our planning sessions. And I mean, like I have blocked my Mondays at that time because I get so much out of not just Holly and her coaching, but also what the other ladies, they're all ladies so far. It doesn't mean you have to be, but everybody on the call is sharing what they're struggling with, what their ideas are. And I mean, it's just such a great group of support and encouragement, and we're always cheering each other on, and, somebody might have something they can add to it. I mean, it's just such a great group there. And we all have the same goal, I mean, like when you're in just a small business or a general business type program, you have different goals, so it's hard to learn from somebody else. But with this, we're all going for the same thing, so it's like, oh my gosh, I thought about this, but now you said that, and that's making me like tweak that a little, so it's a wonderful community too. So
that's amazing. Yes. I'm so glad to have you as part of the community.
Thank you.
You're a gem.
Thank you. You are too, babe.
Where's my heart? Sandy's
I know. We gotta have
her.
My dancer in my heart. Yes.
There we go.
Yes. Next year we need mind blown. Remember? So
we're gonna get a mind blown emoji because Sandy's like does this on the call. So I'm like, okay, she's having a moment. I love it.
I need a card with the so
you're so funny.
All right. Well,
thank you for taking the time.
Can't speak highly enough. It is an investment, but it is so worth it. So yeah, I was skeptical, husband even more skeptical, but we are I wouldn't change it. I'm right where I need to be.
Yes, you are. Mm-hmm. You're home with your rock stars.
That's right.
We love you so much.
We love you too.
Have a good night, and I'll talk to you. I'll probably see you. What's today? Wednesday? Probably won't see you till Monday, but I'll see you Monday.
Probably not till Monday, but thank you. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Sandy. All right. I told you they're awesome, right? I love Sandy's energy. She's just so much fun. All right, so we will wrap it up. This was the Rockstar-a-thon. This was we'll no longer say welcome. We'll just say Rockstar-a-thon. We're doing this again tomorrow night. And this is only a fraction of all the people who wanted to be here, but they are so busy working jobs that they can't, or they're with their kids in the evenings and they can't. So I'm just bringing you a little tiny sliver tonight and tomorrow of the amazing people. So if this speaks to you, if you love these women, if you want a proven path, you want to get there quickly, I can help you with this if you're an organizer. So this is for you, typically, if you're an organizer about 2 to 3 years in business, you're ready to go all in, you're ready to stop spinning your wheels, you want to start making more sales. You might be capped out around like 2 to 4K a month, and you want to grow. Maybe you want to do 8 to 10K. Maybe you even want to have a small team of a couple people helping you. And you love to declutter. You love to help people declutter. This is not for brand new organizers who have never started a business before. Y'all go talk to Melanie Summers. She was the first one. She has a membership she has a monthly Q&A with the Empowered Organizer. You can go check out her page. This is for people who are a couple years in, 2 or 3 years in, or they don't exactly have to be 2 or 3. You don't have to be exactly that amount. I have helped brand new people who were ready, like Jamie McFall, to go all in, or Shannon Lopez, who had a business background and were ready to go all in. That's kind of the distinguishing factor of people I like to work with. And so this is not your typical business coaching program. We talk a lot about real life. We talk a lot about real stuff. We talk about our emotions. We talk about the things that are difficult. We don't just talk about all the, business coaching, whatever. We do definitely talk about all that, but it's really a place to be raw and be real with each other. And in the entrepreneur world, that was something that I craved. And so now I've created that environment for other people. So just want to let you know a little bit about what it is. There are a few levels to it to invest incrementally and go from level 1, 2 to 3. So if this is interesting at all to you, just go to jointherockstars.com. There's a quick assessment. It takes about 5 minutes that will rate you in a few different areas. You get a score, and then you'll get an idea of what to do next. So thanks for tuning in to the Rockstar-a-thon, and I will see y'all tomorrow night. Good night and toodles.